roundup from the World Telegram and Sun scoreboard. First of all, in baseball, the Yankees beat the Athletics 2-0. St. Louis Browns beat Washington 3-0. Tonight, there will be no baseball. It was the only baseball game scored. The only game in the National League was the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Dodgers won that game 35-0. In the golf scores, Ben Hogan won the National Open Women's Golf Championship with a 18-hole score of 71. That's a new record for the Open Golf Championship. In the boxing world, Willie Pett beat Jake LaMotta last night, as you all know. And now, folks, we are going to bring a special broadcast from Russia. Means hello, folks. Goodbye, folks. Many times you've seen me before in movies. This is WMGM FM, New York. This is Gene Kelly. It was a pleasure to star with Lana Turner and George Murphy in the new picture, Flying Sailors. This is WMGM and WMGM FM in New York. Stay tuned for Brooklyn Dodger baseball. It's a home run, folks. Mark Campanella wins the ball game for the Dodgers. That was the quickest game on record. This is Jimmy Ferreira, New York reporting from Hollywood. We have a few guest stars tonight we'd like you to meet. First is Peter Lorre.
I was walking down the street the other day and I saw a man with a knife in his back. But don't get me wrong, I like people, dead people. Next I have my friend Jimmy Cagney. All right, you guys, get out your guns. We're going to raid this bank. We're going to make it a worthwhile job. We're going to get 100 G's. Don't worry now. We're going to get hordes of money. Here's Humphrey Bogart.
All right, Jimmy. Come out of that bathroom. Come out clean. Ho, that's a joke, son.
Hey, Brother Boone, did you see the other day when I saw a man walking down the street? He wanted to know, why do I chicken cross the road?
Well, I'll tell you why chickens do cross the road. The chicken cross the road to get to the other side. Oh, you be sharp tonight, boy. Yes, sir. Why do fireman wear red suspenders? You don't know? Oh, fireman wear red suspenders to hold his pants up.
The World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Yankees, and it's 3-2 the count now on Roy Campanella as he steps up. Dodgers losing 3-0. Here's the pitch. And there it goes. It's a long drive going way, way out. And there goes Joe DiMaggio back and Jones. He can't get it. It's a home run up and over the fence. And Campanella scores. The Dodgers win the first World Series.
I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered are you.
Did you ever see the time, Bob, when I saw my mother-in-law in her bloomers? Yes, you did. And you saw her, too. Oh, I threw her out the window. Ah, you brat!
The Dodgers won the World Series, as you know.
In the final game, Campanella hit a home run. Oh, yes, sir. Those Dodgers are certainly a good team, a wonderful team, a fine team.
This is George Carlin in the Waldorf Astoria lobby. There's a lot of celebrities here tonight. We're having a banquet for William Randolph Hearst Jr., and there's a lot of celebrities here from the press, from radio, television, stage, screen, and everything. You know most of them. We're going to introduce one of them to you now. Here's New York's favorite daughter, currently appearing on television with her own show 5 nights a week. She's making a personal appearance with her own movie, and she's in a few Broadway shows now, too, and she's making records for Decca. Here she is, Agnes Beery. Say a few words. Come over to my house, won't you? Come over to my house. Oh, come over and play. I've lots of playthings, darling. You ought to come on to my house, come on to my house. I'm switching the mic now back to George Carlin, the MC of the Master of Ceremonies. Thanks very much, Agnes. We only have a few seconds to go, so we're going to have to sign off.
George Carlin reporting the news at 6 o'clock. Tonight we have news from Russia that Joseph Stalin has died during the sleep last night. It is approximated that he died at about 2 p.m. He had died from a bad heart. Looks like we're going to win the war after all. A new bomb is called the XYZ bomb plus 258YZF Cemento. It's a wonderful bomb and it can blow up the whole world. We have a flash just now that came in from Washington. Senator McCarthy is accusing President Truman of conspiring the United States. He says that President Truman has handed over secret documents about the atom bomb to Russians and Russian spies. We'll see what Senator McCarthy does about this when they're bringing him before the Senate Investigating Committee tomorrow. We have another flash just in from Akron, Ohio, that a large rubber factory has blown up. 3,000 people have been killed and 14,000 have been injured. 12 firemen were overcome by smoke, and all the fire engines in the United States went over there. It's the end of the news at now, right now. Dedicated to my mother. For it was Mary, Mary, plain as any name can be, but with propriety, society, they say Marie. But it was Mary, Mary, long before the fashion came. And there is something there that sounds so square, it's a grand old name. Educated so far, be on the lookout for two juvenile delinquents. One named George Carlin, height 60 inches exactly, blue eyes, brown hair, scar across his face. And there's another boy, Teddy Dibble, short top, long nose, funny looking teeth, black eyes, no eyebrows, and green hair. Be on the lookout for these boys. They are dangerous. They are carrying slingshots. They are accused of purse snatching and slugging at 45th Street and Grand Avenue. Miss North, South American Officer to see. Let's go to press. France. And we now have a breath. Oh, wait a minute, folks. Here is Don Marvin Miller to tell you about our Woodbury Deb.
Mrs. John McClincy is married this week, and she uses Woodbury soap. She said it's the best soap I ever used, and besides that, it tastes good when I give it to my son, because you can hear the curses he used. Good night, folks. This is the end of our program. Yes.
Talking to you from Pennsylvania Station in New York. I have here a man who has never seen me before, and we're going to let him take the Philip Morris throat test. How was that Philip Morris cigarette to you?
Well, I thought it was fine because it was mild and, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stig-Eyed Koopsnagel. And now we have a Camels report. Over 35,000 doctors smoked Camels. We had 50,000 doctors interviewed, and over 50,000 of them, 35,000, were smoking Camels. Here is Mr. J.R. Fensky, a farmer. I've been smoking Luckies now on 45 years now, and you tell me Luckies are the mildest cigarette I ever smoked. And what's more, I smoke Chesterfields too. We throw them all. Yes, Philip Morris. So if there's any other cigarette to make the statement you're about to hear. Oh, let's fire up those Philip Morris's are. You ought to smoke them things. They smell.
It's time to smile and swing a while with Carlin. George Carlin is on the air, the smoothest record man anywhere. Get set to listen, 'cause here we go on the George Carlin Show.
Okay then, Solid, how you doing? Lots of music coming up for you between now and 5:45. Got the brand new Everly Brothers record, and we'll be playing both sides of it for you. In addition to listening to Elvis's latest, came out this week, and we'll get things started with the new one by Chuck Berry. Stick around, good things happening here on 1480 at Carlin's Corner.
Get set to listen, 'cause here we go on the George Carlin Show.
People always want to know how you get started on this job. I guess they ask musicians too, and actors and everything, but they always want to know how you got started. They say, how did you get started? Say to you, did you always want to be a comedian? Well, not in the womb, but right after that, yes. Yeah, I did. But class clown is when you really do get a chance to kind of work out, you know. Because the classroom is the best place. Classroom's best because, well, no one's allowed to laugh there. And suppressed laughter, you know, is the easiest to get, the most fun. You know, like when you're kneeling in front of a casket. During the sermon, whatever it is. And in the classroom, class clown always sounds like there was only one of them, you know? Always sounds like the class clown, but that's not true, really. There was, you know, quite often there were 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Sometimes you'd have a whole classroom full of them, man. If the main guy was absent, second banana would fill in, right? Yeah. And the class clown wasn't really so unique. You know, he didn't necessarily do things that were real different. It was that he learned things first. He discovered things first and passed them on to the other guys, right? Class clown was the first to discover a lot of musical things. He was the first one to get into Hawaiian nose humming, right? Well, if you're going to play, you know. And then playing head. You had to be a little mazzo for that anyway, man, you know? That and throat. Found out later in life the beard acts as a mute for soft passages. Right. Yeah. Well, anyway. Class clown was the first guy to discover this, usually in gym class, right? Yeah, the old artificial fart under the arm. Or as we called it in New York, the artificial fart under the arm! There were a lot of ways to make the fart sound when you were a kid. Remember, you had this one, too. And then the crook of your arm. It was an important sound, you know, 'cause I guess we found so many ways to make it, you know. I didn't need any of those fancy ones because I could, I was into the bilabial fricative, you know. I was so glad when I found out that had a real official name to it, man. Bronx Cheer and Raspberry never made it for me. Bilabial fricative. Do one from the back? It would probably be an SBD today, man. Remember that? Silent but deadly. Wow. It's true. Most of the time in class, I was tempted to fool around, man. Get someone's, that's what it was, yeah. You'd be bored and you'd figure, well, why not deprive someone else of their education? And you would set about disrupting the class by attracting attention to yourself. That is the name of this job, you know. It's called Dig Me. Yeah, it was like, hey guys, didn't make the team, but... Yeah. I said, hey, he's crazy, man. Hey, you want to go to the party? Wow. Yeah, you went to all the parties. Got the last girl, but you went to all the parties, man. When I would try to attract attention in class, I wasn't really like a very daring and bold youth. I was a little timid, really. I didn't get right into fake epileptic seizures in the aisle, you know. start out and test the water a little bit. I used to start with little sounds like That's a good one because no one can really see where it's coming from, you know. You can even look around like you don't know, right? That's, of course, the pigeon. You recognize the pigeon. That was my only bird call. Because that was our only bird, you know. I was from a real New York part of New York, you know. And we had pigeons and sparrows. Had sparrows. Sparrows, though, you could never pin a sparrow, you know. They would leave too fast. You try to go over to a sparrow. Pigeons would walk out of your way and give you a bad look, right? Poor pigeons, man. Their song is stuck in their throat, you know? That's what living in the city does, man. Sticks your song in your throat. I'm sure when the pigeons first got to the city, they had a nice song, man. Boo, 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 boo. A few years in the city. And then that little oil slick we laid on them, you've seen that oil slick on their neck. I'm sure we gave them that. Pidgeys. I had one sound that was my own. Not completely my own, I stole it from a Spike Jones record. None of the other guys could do that one. I added a little something to it. Yeah. No one really cared, you know. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. And then, of course, there was popping the cheek, which everyone had to do. Just to be a kid, you had to be able to do that, right? Yeah, it was part of the credentials. Can you pop his cheek? Okay, he's a kid. Let him in. Go on. Let me hear all of you do that. I love when a whole auditorium does it. Everybody do it. Like that. Just pop. Now do it without giving in to the temptation to laugh. Everybody do it without laughing. But we take that for granted, you know. We think it's so simple. You say to yourself, well, I think I'll put my finger in my cheek and pop it. It's not that easy, man. There's a lot of things to think about. You got to know how much finger to put in there, for one, right? You can't do it like that, really. You have to judge the amount of finger. You have to know how much air pressure against the cheek, how much cheek pressure against the air, and when to release. Yeah, you see old guys in the park now can't get it on anymore. That's the first thing that goes on a class clown is the cheeks, man. They never did issue microphones to the class clowns. That would have been a big help. But you had ones like this. And you remember this one? Old men always used to do this to you. Remember your grandfather would always do that. Hey, come here. My specialty was knuckle cracking. I was into it on kind of an esoteric level, really. For instance, I could crack all 28 knuckles, you know. 28 plus, actually. Only 28 are officially recognized by the Knuckle Institute. But you aficionados know that down at the ends of the fingers, you have a lot of multiples and repeaters, and if you wake up and think about it first thing in the morning, you can do 50 or more of them, man. A little more knuckle lore for you. The smaller the knuckle, the higher the pitch. Something we just don't stop to think about, you know? For instance, this last knuckle on the pinky is the highest pitched knuckle. You'll hear it now. That was a double. Let's see if I can go for the double on the other pinky. I don't often get two doubles in performance. I'd like to try. And that was down a little lower than it should have been. That's a higher pitched and much more gentle knuckle usually. Let's give the right one on the end of the pinky a chance. Let's see if the other one's in there too. Two doubles is far out, yeah. The best reason for cracking your knuckles was to make the girls sick. I mean, that's all you wanted to do when you were 9 or 10, was make the girls sick. If you could get Margaret Mary to throw up on her desk in the morning, you knew it would be a good day. You picked the most squeamish girl, right? Margaret Mary was susceptible to the knuckles. Hey, Margaret Mary! Remember that feeling like wiping off snot? Somebody else's. You'd wipe it on flaming wood if you had to, man. Get it off me! It got on me by accident! Because nobody really likes your bodily fluids, you know? That's true, unless you keep them to yourself. People don't want them. Really, think of it. Any fluids or semi-fluids that you secrete or excrete or whatever, people don't want to hear it, you know? Earwax, blood, sweat, get it out of here, man. Sometimes they'll take your blood if they're in trouble, you know. Otherwise, keep things inside. People want you to keep things inside. Anything you could do disgusting was good for class clown. Ernest Cruz could turn his upper eyelids inside out. Wow. Remember those guys? Wow. Even I would go, don't do that, Ernest. You look like the devil, man. John Pigman could belch at will. Not just the ordinary belch. I mean, we all learned to swallow a little air, you know, and do the fraternity burp. But John Pigman was an artist, man. He would save air for like half an hour, man. You'd see him over in the corner. Hey, John. No, man. Oh, and when he would finally let go, oh, wow. Oh, ladies. Oh, ladies would puke for blocks around. He would talk when he burped. Remember those guys? How do you do, son of a bitch? He'd try to go through the whole alphabet on one burp, right? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. Sometimes John would be in the movie theater, and you didn't know he was there. And then you found out, man. If anybody on the screen opened their mouth without saying anything, John would provide the dialogue. Hey, John's here, man. Class clown used to save his best stuff for lunchtime when you were drinking your milk. And he'd try to make the milk come out your nose. Huh? Hey, Carlin, you bastard, I'll get you, man. It was even better with 7-Up or root beer, you know? Get all those bubbles up in their sinuses, man. One time, Michael Davey passed an entire cheese sandwich through his nose. Sister Annunziata thought it was a miracle, you know? Come with me, mister. And don't talk to the other boys and girls. Yeah, you're not allowed to talk to anyone right after a miracle, you know? You have to wait and be debriefed by a priest, right? Originally, this job was called Fool. Always want to put it down under occupation on the form, you know? Occupation, Fool. I think I'd spell it with the final E just to piss him off, you know? I understand your son's a fool, Mrs. Carlin. America's fastest rising young fool. Well, in the old days, they were using the real thing. Folks who normally spend a lot of time in closets, and, well, there were jesters and there were buffoons, there were various kinds, but there were just plain old... They were entertaining. I guess it happened by accident one night. The dancers were late or something, you know. Throw the fool out there. Hey, he's good. God damn. People always want to know how you get this job, how you get started. It's largely hereditary. And like everything else, environmental too. Being funny on the streets. That's a part of the start. Knowing you're funny when you're a kid. Street humor as opposed to school. In school, it was easy. Being a class clown was really easy because people aren't allowed to laugh in school. It was nice because the other person got in trouble. The guy who laughed was the one that really got all the heat. Because he couldn't control himself and he'd burst out. You whip a quick face on Roger and look around like you're interested in the problem on the blackboard, and Roger's in trouble, you know? Hey, Roger! Roger, there's nothing funny here, outside. You could clear the room if you were good, man. Sometimes they'd cross you up, though, and they'd say, Roger is going to stand up and tell us all what's so funny, isn't he, Roger? Roger. So the street was a little harder. It was, well, part of it was like slip fights. It was just good to be funny, generally, in a tough neighborhood, if you weren't a big fighter dude. And you got tired of running a lot. It was good to be funny. If guys came around, it would save you from an ass kicking if someone from another neighborhood came around. Who's going to hit a guy, you know, and sitting there? Don't hit him, man. It's bad luck to hit a guy like that, you know? But slip fights, we had slip fights. You know, when adolescent boys, teenage boys are together, they're always putting each other down verbally. There's a running verbal battle. Chop fight, they call them in some place. Cutting. Slip fight, we call them. And it started with the dozens, you know, talking about some places have rules when you're putting each other down. No mothers, man. Hey, no mothers, man. We didn't have that rule. We started right in with your mother. And worked it from there. Hey, where'd you go last night? I was out with your mother, man. There was always one guy whose mother had died, remember? And, oh, man. What do you mean, my mother's dead? I forgot, man. That originated in black street culture as the dozens, or capping on somebody, signifying the dozens, playing the dozens. You want to play the dozens? Well, the dozens is a game, but the way I fuck your mother is a goddamn shame. Snot is universal. There are some things that work in comedy because they're universal, because they're things we all definitely know about, man. But we don't always talk about. Snot is way down the list of priorities, man, if you ever hear it. Invariably, if you find yourself talking about snot to a friend, there are some other topics you've missed. So somebody's got to tell you what you already know that's fun to think about. First of all, snot is the original rubber cement, right? thumb and forefinger, heavy friction, try to toss one away. They won't go. You gotta wait. You gotta put it in your other hand and dirty up your fingers. And they go, woo! And they never make a noise. When the little snot lands, just goes, just like that. No one ever knows. Snot landed nearby house today. I threw it out of car. Did you ever pick your nose and have a guy walk around the corner? Hi, Bill, how are you? Shake your hand.
My right arm is paralyzed.
Oh. Well, that's okay. Why don't you put that thing back in your nose and come in my office? Put it behind your ear and get in there. Actually, you can put them back in your nose. A lot of people, when they are stuck for a place to put one, they don't think they can put it back. They're viable for 4 hours after picking. After that, it's a struggle, but put it on in there, but don't jar it loose. They come out there. You gotta sit still the first hour or so. But we never think of that stuff, man. It's a release, you know, yeah. Snot is also camouflage colored. Nature in its wisdom, it's camouflage the color of the land. It's your basic off greens and off browns, huh? Good greens or those, depending on what you have. And imagine if snot was fluorescent. Day glow mucus. There'd be no place to hide them. See, the camouflage is good color for trees and wood furniture. Where are you going to put a fluorescent snot, man? You got to go down to the head shop and wipe it on a poster. Sure. I'm going to get some water. What you call your water? This is your H2O, my friend. I don't mind telling you, it's from the scientific community. Look at that, huh? It just drops and drips. Water says, who cares? Drink me, I don't give a shit. Put me on your ass, I don't care. Water says, leave me alone, I'm in the lake. Get oil away from my water place. Some ice is water. Some water hasn't been water in a long time. It's ice in the North Pole. Long time, no water. Ice. What are you? I'm ice. I was water. I'm hoping to be water again. After the ice age. What about ice? You could be two kinds of ice. You could be ice made in a machine in the Holiday Inn. Yeah. Or you could be a hunk of ice that comes across a mail pouch sign in Minnesota in January 21. Sometimes I just say shit I never heard before, man. I don't know. Rubadoo, rubadoo, rubadoo. Then I was thinking about the curse words and the swear words, the cuss words, and the words you can't say, you're not supposed to say all the time. Because people are into words, they want to hear your words. Some guys like to record your words and sell them back to you if you can. Listen in on your telephone, write down what words you say. A guy used to be in Washington, knew that his phone was tapped, used to answer it. Fuck Hoover. Yes, go ahead. Okay. And I was thinking one night about the words you couldn't say on the public airwaves. The ones you definitely couldn't say, ever. Because I heard a lady say bitch one night on television. That was cool, like she was talking about, and the bitch is the first one to notice that in the literature. You're right. All right. And bastard you can say, and hell and damn. So I had to figure out which ones you couldn't, and ever. And it came down to 7, but the list is open to amendment, and in fact has been changed by now. A lot of people pointed things out to me, and I noticed some myself. The original 7 words were shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Those are the ones that'll curve your spine, grow hair on your hands, and maybe even bring us, God help us, peace without honor. What a burden. And now the first thing that we noticed was that the word fuck was really repeated in there because the word motherfucker is a compound word and it's another form of the word fuck. If you want to be a purist, it can't be on the list of basic words. Also, cocksucker is a compound word, and neither half of that is really dirty. The half sucker, that's merely suggestive. And the word cock is a halfway dirty word, 50% dirty, dirty half the time, depending on what you mean by it. Remember when you first heard, like in 6th grade, you used to giggle, and the cock crowed 3 times. Hey, the cock 3 times, it's in the Bible, cock is in the Bible. And the first time you heard about a cockfight, remember? What? No, it ain't that. It's chickens, you know? Then you have the 4-letter words from the old Anglo-Saxon fame, shit and fuck. The word shit is an interesting kind of word in that the middle class has never really accepted it and approved it. They use it like crazy, but it's not really okay. It's still a rude, dirty, old kind of gushy word. They don't like that. But they say it like a lady now in a middle class home, you'll hear most of the time she says it as an expletive. You know, it's out of her mouth before she knows. She said, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. If she drops something, oh, the shit like the broccoli, shit. Thank you. Shit. I won the Grammy, man, for the comedy album. Isn't that groovy? I really didn't think I would, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. That's sweet. That's sweet, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. Hey! Did I get shorter? Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. For that and for the Grammy, man, because that's based on people liking it, man. Yeah, that's okay, man. I just let that go, man. Got my Grammy, I can let my hair hang down, man. So, now the word shit is okay for the man. At work, you can say it like crazy, mostly figuratively. Get that shit out of here, will you? I don't want to see that shit anymore. I can't cut that shit, buddy. I've had that shit up to here. I think you're full of shit myself, man. He don't know shit from Shinola, you know that? Always wondered how the Shinola people felt about that phrase, man. Hi, I'm the new man from Shinola. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. How are you? Well, I don't know whether to shit or wind my watch. Guess I'll shit on my watch. Oh, this shit is gonna hit the fan. Built like a brick shit house. He's up Shit's Creek. He's at it. He is, man. I'm sorry. Hot shit, holy shit. Tough shit, eat shit. Shit-eating grin. Oh. Whoever thought of that was ill. Really. He had a shit-eating grin. He had a what? Shit on a stick? Shit in a handbag, always like that. He ain't worth shit in a handbag. Shitty. He acted real shitty. You know what I mean? I got the money back, but a real shitty attitude. Hey, he had a shit fit. Wow. Shit fit. Whew. Glad I wasn't there. All the animals, bullshit, horse shit, cow shit, rat shit, bat shit. First time I heard bat shit, I really came apart. Guy in Oklahoma, Boggs, said it, man. Ah, bat shit! Bear reminded me of that last night. I'd gone past some snake shit and slicker and owl shit. Get your shit together. Should I get off the pot? I got a shitload full of them. I got a shit pot full, right? Shit head, shit heel, shit in your heart, shit for brains. Shit face? Hey. Always try to think of how that could have originated, the first guy to say that, you know? Somebody got drunk and fell in some shit, you know? Hey, I'm shit face! Shit face today! Anyway, enough of that shit. The big one, the word fuck. That's the one that hangs them up the most. Because in a lot of cases, that's the very act that hangs them up the most. So it's natural that the word would have the same effect. It's a great word, fuck, nice word, easy word, cute word, kind of. Easy word to say, one syllable, short U. Fuck, boom, you know, it's easy. Starts with a nice soft sound, f. Ends with a k, right? Little something for everyone, fuck. Good word, kind of a proud word, too. Who are you? I am fuck. Fuck of the mountain. Tune in again next week to Fuck of the Mountain. It's an interesting word, too, because it's got a double kind of a life, personality, dual, you know, whatever the right phrase is. It leads a double life, the word fuck. First of all, it means sometimes, most of the time, fuck. What does it mean? It means to make love, right? We're going to make love, hey? We're going to fuck. Hey, we're going to fuck. We're going to make love. We're going to make love. We're fuck. We'll make love, right? And it also means the beginning of life. It's the act that begins life. So there's the word hanging around with words like love and life. And yet, on the other hand, it's also a word that we really use to hurt each other with, man. It's a heavy. It's one that you save toward the end of the argument, right? So you finally can't make, fuck you, man. That's it. Fuck. I don't want to hear you. Fuck. Stupid fuck. Fuck you and everybody that looks like you, man. It would be nice to change the movies that we already have and substitute the word fuck for the word kill, wherever we could. And some of those movie cliches would change a little bit. Mad fucker is still on the loose. Stop me before I fuck again. Fuck the ump, fuck the ump, fuck the ump, fuck the ump, fuck the ump. Easy on the clutch, Bill, you'll fuck that engine again. The other shit one was, I don't give a shit. Like it's worth something, you know? I don't give a shit.
Hey, well, I don't take no shit, you know what I mean? You know why I don't take no shit? Because I don't give a shit. If I give a shit, I would have to pack shit. But I don't pack no shit because I don't give a shit. You wouldn't ship me, would you?
That was a joke when you were a kid with the worm looking out the bird's ass.
You wouldn't ship me, would you?
It's an 8-year-old joke, but a good one. The additions to the list. I found 3 more words that had to be put on the list of words you could never say on television, and they were fart, turd, and twat. Those 3. Fart, we've talked about, it's harmless, it's like tits, it's a cutie word, no problem. Turd, you can't say, but who wants to, you know? The subject never comes up on the panel, so I don't worry about that one. Now, the word twat is an interesting word. Twat.
Hey, right, the twat.
Twat is an interesting word because it's the only one I know of, the only slang word applying to a part of the sexual anatomy that doesn't have another meaning to it. Like snatch, box, and pussy all have other meanings, man. Even in a Walt Disney movie, you can say, we're going to snatch that pussy and put him in a box and bring him on the airplane. Yes, indeed, it's true. Everybody loves it. But twat stands alone, man. As it should. And 2-way words. Ass is okay, providing you're riding into town on a religious feast day. You can't say up your ass. You can say stuff it, and there's certain things you can say. It's weird, but you just come so close. Before I cut, and I want to thank you for listening to my words, man, fellow space travelers. Thank you, man, for tonight. Geez, I hope I don't die. Oh, by the way, you're all going to die. I didn't mean to remind you of it, but it is on your schedule. You know. Won't come when you want. It's always off a little. What, now, here on the freeway? Mm-hmm. Thought surely I'd be home lying down. Comics are supposed to worry about dying, you know? Don't want to die out there, man. Jeez, I was dying. It was death out there. Like a morgue. On the other hand, if he succeeds, if he makes you laugh, he can say, I killed him. Knocked them dead. Why is there so much violence mixed up with comedy, you know, which should be so much fun? It's all dying, bombing. He bombed, or else he was a riot. A real scream. Ah! I cracked up laughing at him. He broke me up too. I busted a gut laughing. My friend was in stitches. He fractures me with his punchlines and his gags. Oh! Slapstick. Knee slapping, side splitting, rib splitting, gut busting. Laugh, I thought I'd die. But I just wanted to talk about regular dying. Plain old cacking out. Some people think cacking out means to go to sleep. Dying. The big cackaroo. We're all going to go. When will it be? You know, it should be, instead of sort of a fear thing, it should be sort of fun. Kind of a, you know, the next big adventure. We're going to find out where we go. That's what we've all been talking about. Where the hell do you go? I don't know. You must go somewhere, maybe. Phil has an idea. I know, I heard Phil. But where do you go? I don't know. You're going to find out. Hope it isn't nowhere, man. Think you go where you think you're going to go. Whatever you dwell on. Did you ever hear those guys? Oh, don't pray for me. Don't waste your prayers on me. I'm going to hell. He is. If Monty Hall dies, he'll probably go behind door number 4. What do you think? Suicide is for people who can't wait to find out where the hell it is you. Holy shit, I've been waiting a long time. I don't have many nights like that. But when you think about it, you know, kind of goof man, you know. Suicide. I always picture myself on a ledge. There's got to be a little show business involved. You don't want to slump over a porcelain fixture. Let me get up here. Hey. Set the record, be the first guy to reach the double yellow line. Have your picture in the centerfold of the newspaper. Actually, a picture of the building with a dotted line showing Leaper's Path. Suicide. Suppose you worked on the suicide hotline, helping people, talking them out of it. That's your job. Hello, suicide hotline. And one morning you wake up a little depressed. Should you call in sick? I'd like to see a top salesman commit suicide. Really persuasive guy, up on the ledge. And the priest talks him out of it. And he talks the priest into it. People say maybe you come back. Reincarnation. Do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem mathematically possible to me, man. Because at one time, all we had on the earth was 6 people, you know. I avoid 2 because it's controversial. But 6, most people agree, oh, fuck yeah, we had 6 at one time. No. 6 people, 6 souls. Cool. They died, souls went back to the place. 6 new people, souls, whew. Still 6 souls. Now we have 4 billion people claiming to have souls. Someone is printing up souls. And it lowers their value, you know. When I die, I don't want to go through that funeral. Sure, a funeral. Hey, when you die, you get more popular than you've ever been. In your whole life, you get more flowers when you die than you ever got at all. They all arrive at once, too late. And people say the nicest things about you. They'll make shit up if they have to. Oh, yeah, he's an asshole, but a well-meaning asshole. Yeah, poor Bill is dead. Yeah, poor Bill is dead. Poor Tom is gone. Yeah, poor Tom. Poor John died. Yeah, John. What about Ed? No, Ed, that motherfucker, he's still alive, man. Get him out of here. Yeah, your approval curve goes way up, man. You might just be in one of those funerals where you're lying in the coffin, you know, folks looking at you. They do have them. Open it up, I want to see him. And you're lying there. They come by. The first thing they do, after blessing themselves, if they do that, is subtract their age from yours. Figure at a minimum what they have still to live. They don't know you're lying there with no back in your jacket and short pants on. Shit. Embarrassed by the rouge. And they say, geez, don't he look good? He's dead. I know, but he never looked that good. I don't want to have a funeral like that. And I don't want to be cremated either. I want to be blown up. There he goes! God love him. I figured out a way to commit the perfect murder. Again, you know, you got to think of something. You pick one guy up by his ankles, and you kill another guy with him. And they both die, and there's no murder weapon. What happened here, Sarge? I don't know. Looks like a pedestrian accident to me. They must have been moving at quite a clip. Suppose you're in death row. They got to give you that meal. That last meal. They don't want to hear elephant steaks and shit like that, but within reason, your last meal, man. And suppose you can't decide between steak and lobster. That's it. Can't decide. I don't know. Polygraph, truth serum, man doesn't know. 6 months alive, can't decide. They'd have to let you live. They can't drag you down the last mile screaming, I can't decide. And then one day, finally, oh, okay, all right, okay. Give me the steak. How'd you want that cooked? Oh, I don't know. They say you have a flashback just before you die. You see your life over again, kind of a little movie, a little newsreel. Again, it doesn't seem mathematically possible. You know? Okay, you're out in the surf. Second, third time. You're about to die. The movie starts. Now you've got to see the whole movie, including the ending, which involves arriving at the beach, walking out into the surf, and having the movie start. You've got to see it again. Thanks to the movie, we can never die. Well, I say if you're going to die, die big. Entertain those you leave behind. Posthumous reflexes. You know, dying takes place in the stages, and not all of the electrical energy in your brain is discharged when you're dead. Every now and then a corpse goes... Veterans know, no, that's just electricity. But I say if we have this possibility, let's plan those reflexes. Do something entertaining. Roll over on the autopsy table. Cross your legs, scratch your balls, do something. Be fun. But you can entertain, and the only reason I suggest that you can have something to do with the way you die is a little known and less understood portion of death called the 2-minute warning. Obviously, many of you do not know about it. Sure. But just as in football, 2 minutes before you die, there is an audible warning. 2 minutes, get your shit together. And the reason we don't know about it is because the only people who hear it die. And they don't have a chance to explain, you know. I don't think we'd listen anyway. But there is a 2-minute warning, and I say use those 2 minutes. Entertain, uplift, do something. Give a 2-minute speech. Everyone has a 2-minute speech in them. Something you know, something you love. Your vacation, man, 2 minutes. Really do it well. A lot of feeling, a lot of spirit, and build, wax eloquent for the first time. Reach a peak with about 5 seconds left. Tell them, if this is not the truth, may God strike me dead. From then on, you command much more attention. Maybe you get your 2-minute warning and you're in the office. Get up and start your own funeral collection. What's the record, Bill? I'd like to top the record. Whatever your motive, you might be at an exercise program. Get up and volunteer for something strenuous. Do the Lindy Hops and refuse to stop when they do. Tell them you have a new exercise, the Hindu death exercise. Jump till you die. Maybe you get your 2-minute warning and you're in the audience at a faith healers program. 2 minutes. Get up and get online with the Heelys. Tell them you got the willies. Nobody knows what the willies look like anyway, man. Just get online and time it right 15 seconds and you kneel down, she puts her hands on your shoulder and you die! Yeah. Evangelist slays worshiper. 50,000 look on. Police sift clues. That's what they do, man. Sift clues.
So you know what I say, it's your body, do what you want. You know, you want to make a hole in yourself? Go ahead, fucker, who's gonna care? Make a goddamn hole in yourself, or get a tattoo. There's another thing you can do. Get a tattoo, that's a good idea. Get someone to draw a picture on you that'll never come off for the rest of your life. Not only will it never come off, it hurts to put it on and you have to pay the man money. Boy, there's a lot of good reasons for getting tattooed. Nothing like waking up drunk with the Last Supper on your chest. Jeez, I don't remember that. Well, you're not gonna forget it now. Not your Last Supper, the Last Supper. Well, you might have a little of each depending on how drunk you got. I figure, you know, 1 tattoo means you got a little drunk. 2 tattoos, well, you just want to be one of the guys. 3 tattoos, they were having a sale at the tattoo parlor. More than 3 tattoos, you're beginning to enjoy the needles. Some guys must enjoy the needles. They got tattoos all over their bodies. You ever seen a guy covered head to toe at the beach? Got a little bathing suit on, walks around, looks like a fucking mobile art gallery? Guy like that dies, you don't bury him, stick him in a museum somewhere. These guys are fun, and they're handy. Gives you something to read on the bus on the way to work in the morning. Oh, holy shit, look at that. I was going to get tattooed, but I decided against it. However, I had some good ideas. I was going to get something different, you know? I wanted to get something a little different. I was going to get dotted lines tattooed wherever I bend. With little instructions, place tab A in slot A, do not glue. I was also going to get all of my internal organs tattooed on the outside of my body. case I get a beginner at my autopsy, he'll know exactly what to do. Here's a good one for you guys. Get your nipples done as radio dials. Volume, tuning. And the hair in the middle, that can be a speaker. Or if you want stereo, whoa. Here's a good one for the guys. Right here you get tattooed. In case of emergency, pull handle. How about a bumper sticker? If you can read this, kiss my ass. Okay, you know what the most popular tattoo is of all times? Mom. Yeah, isn't that something? More guys, you see that on every guy. More guys have mom tattooed. Not too many guys get pop. You don't see that much. You know why? I think it's because you can't read pop in the mirror. Mom comes out mom in the mirror. Pop comes out 909. What the fuck does that mean? If you want to get mom tattooed and save a little money, just get 2 letters done. You put an M on each cheek and then bend over and say, Mom! Hiya, Mom! How are you, Mom? Then you go out with your girlfriend, go to a motel, and put your legs up in the air and say, wow. Well, these are only suggestions. You don't have to actually go out and get this done. Many people right after the show run to the tattoo parlor and say, well, he said we had to get tattooed. No. It's up to you. You have free will. Have about 6 or 7 vodkas first. I got some little tips for you. When you're hitchhiking, have a little fun with people. Keep them on their goddamn toes. A lot of people don't hitchhike anymore because they're afraid they'll get murdered. Fuck it. Take a chance. Here's a good one when you're hitchhiking. Guy stops, says, where you going? Say, well, I got to go the other way. You mind turning around? Or a guy stops and says, where you going? Say, well, actually, I'm not going anywhere today, but if you give me your name and address, I'd like to contact you. When I am going somewhere, perhaps I'll call you. Guy stops and says, where you going? Say, well, first we got to pick up my mother. Then we got to go to the post office and the dentist, and we got to go to unemployment, Social Security, and I'd like to borrow the car tonight if you don't mind. I got a real good date. Might get laid, you know. Looks like a good back seat. How about it? Perhaps you've noticed that most of these things are slanted toward retail clerks. At least an awful lot of them are kind of slanted toward clerks. And that's because, you see, I have this kind of attitude toward retail clerks. I feel that clerks need a little help. And by God, I'm here to provide that help. You know what I mean? I think clerks are just a little bit... like they got a little neutral zone, you know? Some of them seem to be on loan from Mars. That's if you can find a clerk at all. Sometimes they're not even there, you know. They're on their break. Or sometimes they're there, but they can't wait on you because they're on someone else's break who they switched with. Well, that pisses me off. I'm awfully sorry. I can't wait on you. I'm on Steve's break. Oh. Well, fuck you. And fuck Steve, too. Be sure to mention that to Steve when he comes back. So I try to help these folks. What I try to do for a clerk is break his spirit. I try to set a clerk back in his emotional development by 15 to 20 years. Reduce a clerk to a pile of facial tics. And in order to do this, I go to the department store, because that's where they have the most clerks. That's clerk heaven. The department store. Mostly women clerks, by the way. Women wait on you in department stores. Men don't do that in department stores. Men come around every hour to see if the women have quit. That's the men's job. You quit? Nope. Okay, I'll be back in an hour. And he's gone off, fucking off with Steve somewhere. And she's there waiting on customers, because none of them have come in yet. That's why they call it waiting on customers. Women, they say, God damn, I've been here an hour and a half and I ain't seen customer one. And then finally when they come in, they have to wait on them all over again. And you know, I believe there's some sort of slavery involved in these women's employment. Have you noticed that women who wait on you in department stores always have eyeglasses that are on chains? Heavy chains that go down into the blouse and disappear and go God knows where. I think there's a master chain reel on the roof, and at 5 o'clock they reel everybody in. Okay, girls, Miller time! Well, it's just a theory of mine. Perhaps it's not true. We better not act on it until we have more data. But I do like to go to the department store and harass the female clerks, and I go usually to the handkerchief lady. That's my favorite clerk fun of all. The handkerchief lady. Usually it's an older woman. If you notice, mostly older women sell handkerchiefs. That's because hankies are easy to lift. I figured that shit out alone one afternoon while it was raining. And I proved it to myself because you never see any blue-haired women in the barbell section, do you? Goddamn logic came to my aid once again. So I go right up to the handkerchief lady. Sometimes I'll sashay, you know, if I'm feeling cool. If I'm feeling cool, I'll sashay. That's how I sashay. Sometimes I'll bop, you know. This is how I bop. Not very cool, but it is sincere bopping. Well, I do whatever's playing on the stereo section when I come off the escalator, whatever they're featuring that week. That's what I do as I go up there. One time, I polka'd up to the goddamn lady. Well, she liked to shit, but she waited on me anyway. And I go right up, and don't forget what we're trying to do for this woman. We're trying to reduce her to a pile of protoplasm. I go up to that woman and I say, "Pardon me, ma'am, do you have any monogrammed handkerchiefs?" She'll say, "Yes, what initial would you like?" I don't know, I hadn't even thought about it. "Tell me, what do you got here? What's for sale?" Well, that's, I see. Well, Give me an assortment, why don't you? Let me have an L, 2 R's, an O, 3 N's, a J, a couple of Y's, a D, a lowercase v, and a capital X. Say, by the way, you don't happen to have any semicolons, do you? Well, I've always wanted to blow my nose directly into a semicolon. They'll be leading this woman off to the employees' lounge long before her scheduled break. Come on, Emma. Emma is one of those names that no one under 80 has. Do you notice that? There are no infant Emmas. Emma is an acquired name. One day you're sitting on the porch, and suddenly you're Emma.
Here's Johnny Badcheck's song from the Elmo prison movie, "Your wives are having sex with other men." Your wives are having sex with other men. They're lying on the bed and having orgasms. While you're in here awaiting, they aren't hesitating. Your wives are having sex with other men. The men are coming to your home. They know your wife is all alone. First they drink your whiskey, then they smoke your cigarettes, and then they fuck your wives. And then they fuck your wives. Thank you very much.
Monopoly was what I wanted to mention. Playing Monopoly. 6 people can play, can't they? I believe 6 can play. There's only 4, so only 4 people can have a side to keep their cards under, you know. But 2 guys can be on the corners. Monopoly. There's a place that we've all spent a lot of time, you know. Very familiar. I wasn't so good at it. I don't know about you. I didn't play that well. I'd have a couple of railroads anyway, you know. Not a complete asshole, you know. Snap up Baltic Avenue as soon as that became available. Shit, $60. Can't go wrong on that, mother. Let me have that one. It never got much farther. Oh, yeah. About the best thing I would own would be one piece of property in the light blue series. Oriental Avenue, perhaps. Nothing on it, of course. Maybe an excavation. It's about all I ever had on my property was plans. surveyor's marks. All my friends had malls, condominium shopping centers, industrial parks. Oh boy, Carlin, you're coming down my side now. Oh, big one. Hot shit at 12. Right past that asshole. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be around again, man. Yeah, but you can't move your token until you remember which goddamn one did you have. Hey, what is that? What am I? Am I the car? Are you the car? No, you're the car. Okay, what are you? Battleship. I'm the battleship every game. Okay. Funny ones they had. How the hell did the shoe get in there, man? The guy must have got drunk the second night he was working on the game, you know? Let's put in a shoe, man. Goes with the hat. I always used to ask for the overcoat just to piss off the banker, you know? There is no overcoat. The worst token to have was that goddamn Ken. It was the only one that kept falling over, you know? It's the only top-heavy token. You throw the dice anywhere near it and... Pick it up. Hey, are you the cannon? Pick it up, would you please? Pick it up. And you, are you in jail or just visiting? Well, put the car on the outside if you're just visiting. Some guys cared. That's why they won, man. I never won. I kept landing on chance, trying to buy it. Get in more fights, trying to buy chance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chance. Little man with a hat. $200 for being an asshole. Shuffle them good. That's the second time I got that one. So, well, I didn't win, but I was always in at the end of the game. Because I had all the $1 bills. Yeah, 1,500 in singles, and they needed me to make change for their shitty deals.
All right, now, before you get the idea that I'm a strictly negative person, I don't want you to go away thinking that. I have some positive suggestions to make for some new sports. Some sports that we don't have. Some sports that, in fact, are missing. Where is college auto racing? You never see that. High school auto racing? They have it, but it's not organized, is it? I'd like to see mud surfing for places like Bakersfield where you don't have a goddamn ocean. Turn the garden hose on, get in there and fucking mud surf. How about high-speed competition skipping? Might be dangerous. You wouldn't want to do that at night. Here's a nice sport for the idle rich. Airplane fishing. You'd have to have a lot of line, but who knows, it might be a whole lot of fun. Here's an exciting sport, indoor hunting. You don't know where the other guy is. He might be behind the couch. You got to take a piss at 2 in the morning. Look out, holy shit. Here's a winter sport you might enjoy, the 33-man bobsled. Well, it would give everyone a chance to participate. Here's a kind of a peaceful sport. Cross-country chess. While you're waiting for the other guy to think up his move, you take a fucking 60-mile hike. Okay, let's stick with the more violent impulses. I think that's more in keeping with the national character. We need some more violent sports. How about team wrestling with knives? Bowling with hand grenades. Tackle golf. While he's lining up his shot, you tackle the motherfucker. Full contact archery. Oh, fuck. How about, here's a violent sport, 5-man team boxing with crowbars. Each round, 27 minutes. Why don't we have the choking matches? You never see that. Fuck all these gloves and shit. Get in there and choke some cocksucker to death. That would be fun. Well, all right, maybe the psychologists might say that we should channel some of this violent energy into more pleasant pastimes. How about some sexual sports? We don't have any. You ever think about that? There are no sexual sports. Well, we had broad jumping for a while until the feminists found out what the fuck was going on. But I'd like to see the oral sex relay races, wouldn't you? I'd sure tune in the foreplay playoffs. I think there are some sports that would be just more exciting in the nude. How about nude ski jumping? Whoa! Nude fencing? Look out! Whoa! Even nude baseball might be fun. Although I wouldn't want to see a guy with 3 balls on him, would you? Here's a sexual sport that's real big these days at Venice Beach. Roller fucking. 2-man mixed roller fucking. How about tag team masturbation? One guy gets tired, another guy runs in the ring and relieves him, huh? Australian dick wrestling. Well, we have arm wrestling. What's wrong with dick wrestling? And call it Australian so that ESPN will run it all night and never explain the rules to anybody. Does that piss you off? God. I'm telling you, that ESPN will not explain the rules to Australian football. And how do they score that game? 1 minute it's 43-29, next minute it's 116-88. What happened? The guy on the scoreboard had a fucking stroke. And why does the referee wear a trench coat? This is one of the great unanswered sports questions of all times. And so to wrap up my thoughts, remember, get high on sports, not drugs. But if there are no sports in your immediate area, fuck it, go ahead and get high on drugs. Yay! Let's remind ourselves that you might not be driving on some particular day. Maybe your car's in the shop. Maybe you had an accident. Maybe you ate a whole box of Total and went out and wrecked your car. This is happening more and more all across our great land. It's called the power of suggestion at breakfast time. And you might be hitchhiking. Yes, you know, there are still some people who hitchhike. Most of them are dead. But there are still about 9 of them out there trying to find a serial killer, which has nothing to do with the box of Total. That's just a coincidence. But hitchhikers can have a little fun keeping people alert too, but of course they have to get a ride first. Someone has to come along and stop. Guy stops, lowers the window, says, "Where are you going?" Say, "Hey, thanks for stopping. I don't actually need a ride today. But if you'll give me your phone number, I'll be glad to give you a call whenever I do. And it'll save you the trouble of driving all over town looking for me. By the way, you'll want to step back very quickly. He'll be leaving in a big hurry. No sense sacrificing a nice set of toes for the sake of a practical joke." Here's an alternative for the hitchhiker. Don't say anything at first. Jump right into the passenger seat. Jump right in the car. Guy says, "Where are you going?" Say, "I don't give a shit. Let's just ride around. I'm off till Wednesday." He'll be leaving in a big hurry too, but at least you'll be in the car.
Guacamole, you know anything with that kind of guacamole? Guacamole doesn't even sound like food. Guacamole sounds like something you wear to a carnival, you know?
Lend me your guacamole tonight, would you?
Guacamole sounds like a child's game or a thing you drive around the house.
Take the batteries out of that guacamole.
Or guacamole's a thing you don't know the name of.
Try to put the jigger in the old guacamole there.
Guacamole isn't to eat guacamole. Guacamole, it sounds sillier the more I say it. I'm never going to have that ever.
Guacamole, fuck it. Guacamole. I don't want that. I don't like it. It doesn't sound good.
Nuts will fuck up a good piece of cake every time, too, I'll tell you, if you're not expecting them. If you have nuts on your mind, fine. But if you got a clear nut channel and you're not thinking nut, you don't want some cake slipping a nut in on you.
You got a piece of cake that you assume to be nut-free, and you're chewing your ass off. A nice piece of chocolate cake. You got most of it on the left cheek, because that's where you chew good, and you don't get the electric signals from the chocolate to your brain on the bad teeth you have on the other side. Chewing that chocolate real good, nice and soft, good soft, nice consistency. Now the frosting is starting to blend with the cake part, and it's all one good big gooey mess in your mouth, but it's smooth as hell. It breaks up and it comes back together, and you're chewing like crazy, and here comes a nut. Here comes a nut that you have to deal with. Either you have to chew it at the moment, or put it in the ashtray. I usually put it in the ashtray, along with my toenail clippings. Don't you keep your stuff like that? Don't you keep parts? Never know, folks, when we're gonna need parts. I do. You know, an old callus, I hang on to it, man. Skin from last summer's sunburn, yeah. Keep it in the top drawer. Hey, I just want to know where it is, you know what I mean? Somebody says, got any skin from last summer? Top drawer, right here. Yeah, anything comes out of me, I'm curious about. I'm going to save it for at least a half an hour. Till it dries out, you know? Whatever it is. Ah! Sure, your fingernails get so you can't bend them anymore after a day or two, you know? All the water goes out of them and you go, wow, holy Christ. Can't believe that was my fingernail. But it was.
Tonight I would like to ridicule those commercials that come on late at night on television and last for about 15 or 20 minutes. They always have Eddie Albert or Don Wilson or someone else you trust. They come out and sell you records. A lot of records. I'm wondering what's going to happen when the fringe people and the shady operators get a hold of this same idea. I call my version of it 400,000 American musical favorites. Well, hi there, folks. It's Carl Close out here, your old pal. And tonight we have the best offer we've had for you in some time, with the possible exception of the nude photographs of David Eisenhower. They were very well, I must say that. Music lovers, here's the opportunity you've been waiting for, a chance to have 400,000 American musical favorites right in your own home. A wonderful treasury of every song ever written since the beginning of time. Now, these 400,000 musical favorites are yours, not for $1,000, not for $500, not for $100. They're yours for 12 cents a pound. Well, that comes to a little bit over $14,000. But what a small price to pay to have some of this marvelous music in your home. Songs here of every description, songs we've hummed since childhood. Not continuously, of course, but from time to time. Some great American musical favorites, including Deutschland über alles, Say Sabone, Song of India, Hava Nagila, and that great American favorite from 1942, Give the Jap a Slap in the Ass. Now, here's just a sample. In the country and western field, you got Skeeter Peters and her Chitlin Eaters, featuring whistling Jack Spiegelheimer, and that's from the wonderful Hillbilly Purgatory album. You'll recall some of those tunes. I got you out of my heart, but I can't get you out of my apartment. Please don't wear your golf shoes when you run around on me. Church Fire Mama, Hit and Run Polka, Earwax Boogie. A lot of tunes you've been waiting to hear for some time now. Got symphony music, too. Don't want you to think we left out you symphony fans. We got the Bell Telephone Orchestra playing Symphony No. 9, Opus 508, area code 212. And jazz fans, as you know, the big bands are coming back. There ain't no jobs for them, of course, but they're coming back. Going on. I know you're going to enjoy the Ornette Perkins Far Out Woodside Avenue Experimental Pop Band and Travel Agency as they play their Calypso version of Taps. And you Latin favorites, ole, ole! We have Latin music. Tito Cabeza has got a big Latin department. Wonderful, wonderful tunes for you. We have the Mexican hat dance, Mexican overcoat dance, and the ever popular Mexican corrective stocking dance. That's what all of it. Yes, sir. You're really going to freak your brains out, folks, as you march down memory lane, remembering old-time memories from historical things that happened once before to you. Here's a great German love song. I know you never forget it. I miss your sweet and gentle touch. I love you from the start. Fight, fight, fight. Put 'em out, baby.
But don't take my word for it. Try the records in your own home for 10 years. Take a leave of absence from your job and give them a listen, folks. You're going to like them. If you have any problem, just give us a call. We'll send someone over to poison your dog. It just occurred to me that some of you might be sitting out there saying, well, gee, Carl, I just don't have 14 thou right now to lay out on records. Well, we can spread them payments out over a week for you, folks. 7 handy, easy payments, $2,300 each, and you're paid in full. And, of course, that means we'll be leaving your children alone. So act now. Send cash, check, or money order. Send anything you want, folks. You can send food stamps, pawn tickets, I don't care, T-shirts. Send it to Amazing Record Offer, room 700, Sabu Building, Okinawa. Or call 661-3261. In town, call direct. Out of town, lots of luck. And if you act now, we're going to include some of these bonus albums for you, folks. I'll tell you as many as I can in the time remaining here. A 2-hour recording of Threats by Jimmy Hoffa. An on-the-spot recording of an innocent victim beating the daylights out of Alan Funt. The Genius of Don Pardo. A complete collection of Vaughn Monroe's fishing tips. A 3-hour recording of Sam Levinson describing his kitchen as a child. A 3-hour recording of Dr. Timothy Leary describing his child as a kitchen. A documentary entitled One Nation Indivisible, Parts 1 and 2. An actual stereo recording of the fluid in a bat's middle ear. A complete collection of all the station breaks broadcast in Malta in 1963. A rare recording of Billy Graham ordering a dozen silk suits over the phone. Got a 1-hour recording of the Milwaukee dial tone. And to wind things up, something you're really going to freak on, we got the brand new John Lennon album. And if you play it backwards at slow speed, you can hear a voice saying, "Dummy, you're playing it backwards at slow speed."
I want to tell you how much I love peas. I know I don't want to say I love peas. You know, you say I love, you say I love this. You know, boy, I really love baseball. You know, hey, you like baseball. I fucking love peas, man. I mean, I really care for peas a great deal, man. Peas. All I am saying is give peas a chance. I love goddamn peas. You know how much I love peas? I love them so much that sometimes I have only peas for an entire goddamn meal. What are you having for supper, Daddy? Peas. That's it? That's it. 3 cans of goddamn peas. That's how you know you're grown up. When you insist on 3 cans of peas and nobody gives you any shit. Say, I must be an adult now. Goddamn peas, I like them peas a whole lot. Just love them, man. I love asking for them. They're fun to ask for. Peas, please. There's no other food like that. I like most kinds of peas. I like the frozen ones, too. I'm not prejudiced. A lot of people don't like frozen peas. A lot of people are down on frozen peas. Some people hate frozen peas. You hear the shit in the aisle. You hear going through the frozen food aisle. You hear the people gather around. Look at them fucking frozen peas, man. I hate that cocksucker. That shit down. Look at that shit. I don't even involve myself in that. I wheel right past. Down at the Stouffer's section. I park in the Stouffer's section and then wander back. Pick up a little of the gossip on the peas. They don't like those frozen peas. People are very mad at frozen peas, and I feel the reason is because they have a lot of little dents in them. They are awfully dented. If you look at those frozen peas, lots and lots of little dents. They're all sucked in, folks. They look like they're holding their breath, you know, but think of it. Think how cold they are. Those suckers are cold, Jim. They're freezing their asses off, those peas. You'd be sucked in, too, if you were like me frozen. You got to give them credit. Look, they may be sucked in and be full of dents, but God bless them, they stayed bright green, didn't they? How about that, huh? Through the whole freezing ordeal, they retained their bright green color. Not like those quitter peas in the cans. Not like those peas that gave up. Canned peas, they look a little used, don't they? I feel sorry for them, too. I don't know what they've been through. God knows what they do to them in that canning process. Must be something done to their little pea minds would make them change color like that, all of them. Must be unspeakable, whatever it is. They probably show them pea atrocity films. Yes, I like, well, you know what I like about the canned peas have something else going for them. The label is so full of information. On canned peas, first of all, it says green peas. That's just in case you're about to fuck up and bring home red ones by mistake. Which ones we have last time, honey? The green ones? Well, let's get them again. They were rather good. Also on that can, it says early June peas. Hey, I'll bet you they're sticking some late May peas in the can. You know what I mean? Get out of here. I don't even know if early June is a good time for peas. Peas might suck in early June. I'm from the city. They wouldn't tell me, man. Sell him that June shit. He'll eat that. I'm probably looking for mid-November peas, and I don't even know. Something else on the label that catches my eye. It says fancy peas. Well, I already do, or I wouldn't be in the pea section, you know. But it says fancy peas. And then sometimes it says extra fancy. Well, I can't resist that. I bring them home. Goddamn, open them up. They're just plain green. You know, I mean, if they might have had little Donald Ducks on them or something like that, now that would be a fancy pea. I'll tell you what I really love the most about peas is you get so goddamn many of them, man. God, you get a lot of peas. I'll bet you get more peas than almost anything else you could order. Except for rice, you do get a little more rice than peas. It is smaller, you know. Corn is about the same as peas, I guess. But goddamn, you get lots of peas. I'll bet you get 106 to 118 peas in an order of peas in a good place. You get enough peas that you can throw 6 or 7 of them at people and still have plenty to eat. You can't do that with a potato, you know. You throw one potato and you blew a 30-year meal, man, right there. Also, they know who did it, the guy with no potato. Hey. Yeah. And you know the way I prove that theory to myself? It's easy, because we have pea shooters, but we don't have potato shooters, man.
Well, there's only one more little part to this, one little last chapter, and you might lose something else, folks. You might lose your place. That happens a lot, doesn't it? Losing your place doesn't sound important, doesn't seem important, losing one's place. And it might not be important. Maybe you just lost your place reading. That happens all the time. You're reading something very interesting. You have a very interesting magazine, several interesting articles. How to make 2 little hats out of an old brassiere. Songs to yodel on the toilet. Tips on getting laid. How to lease out the space inside your nose. And while you're reading, an explosion goes off about 300 feet behind you and a little to your left. Oh my God. An explosion has gone off about 300 feet behind me and a little to my left. And I've lost my place. Well, I'll simply have to find it again, won't I? Yes, it's in here somewhere. I'll know it when I see it. After all, it is my place. I certainly hope I don't find someone else's place. That would present me with a moral dilemma. Well, that isn't very important, is it, losing your place reading? But you know an important way to lose your place? Online, standing in line, losing your place in line. Don't do that, because that place represents territory that you've gained that must be held at all costs. That's your place. You know it's your place because it moves up as you move up, doesn't it? You don't have to stop and move it. It moves right along. If you step back to let someone through, it steps back with you, and then it resumes moving forward again. That's your place. Don't lose your place. It's so easy to do, losing your place. You just wander away. Just wander away for a little while, and someone is sure to say, I'm awfully sorry, but you've lost your place. I'm the line captain. The rest of the members of the line and I have voted you out. You've been gone for more than 20 seconds without a reasonable excuse. You, my good chappie, are out of line. Oh, no. Now, not only have you lost your place, but you're also out of line. Double trouble, gang. Don't let it happen to you. Know your place and keep your place. That's what your parents said to you, wasn't it? Know your place. Know your place. They weren't talking about social situations. They were talking about being on a goddamn line. Know your place and keep your place. If you must wander away, have someone watch your place. People are good about that. People will watch your place. In fact, that's the main obligation of being a member of a line. The sacred duty to watch another line member's place when properly asked. Hello, pardon me, how do you do? I wonder if you would watch my place, please. I'm going to wander away. I'll only be gone a short time, and this is my place. I would so love it if you would watch it for me. Would you be kind enough? Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. And say, don't forget who I am now. Look at my face. You'll have to recognize me upon my return. This is a distinguishing characteristic you can use. You know what that is? It's a mole. My mother says it's a beauty mark. But I know it's a mole. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. I'm going to tell him about our arrangement because in case you die, I want a backup. Hello there. Pardon me. He is going to watch my place. Okay? I'm going to wander away. I'll be back, but this is my place and he's watching it. Now, here are the rules while I'm gone. While I'm gone, you may move up and temporarily occupy my place. But when I return, you must move back and relinquish my place to me because, after all, it is my place. If he wanders away, you have to watch two places. Thank you very much. I so appreciate that. By the way, he understands everything perfectly, but keep an eye on him. I don't like his looks at all. Okay, now look at this. Two places now. Soon a chain of places. I'll call them McPlaces. Time to expand my empire. Pardon me. Will you watch my place, please? I'm going to wander way over there. I'll only be gone a short time if you... What's that? Well, he's watching that place. Well, he can only watch one place at a time. Let's not worry about him. Pay attention to this place here, please. Thank you very much. Now, don't forget, you'll have to recognize me while I'm gone. You know what this is? It's a beauty mark. My mother was right. That asshole thinks it's a mole. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Oh, hot shit. Look at this. Oh, boy. 3 places now. Soon, coast-to-coast places. I'll have places all over the place. But I'd better get back to my original place and consolidate my holdings. Back on line. My place in line. You ever notice the line you're on isn't moving? I never get on a good moving line, a well-moving line. Do you? My line is always stuck. The other lines are moving beautifully. Is this a subjective illusion, or are we always getting on the wrong goddamn line all of our lives? I think we're always getting on the wrong goddamn line all of our lives. My line is never moving. Look at that line moving along smartly, isn't it? You can actually see the people picking up their feet and putting them down. That's how fast they're moving. You can see little speed lines coming off their clothing as if they were in a cartoon. Look at that line. The woman in the red hat is already up to the window. She came in a half an hour after I did. If I were on that line, I'd already be home watching the lifestyles of the rich and famous on TV. Well, this is when you might lose something else, folks. You might lose your nerve and jump to the other seemingly faster line. Don't do it. You're sorely tempted, aren't you? Oh, if I get on that line, I'll be out of here. You're sorely tempted. Don't go over there, friends. You know what'll happen. You jump over here, and this line goes... And your new line closes down for the season. This line closed until doomsday. And you can't go back over there. You know what they'll say? Bullshit, you took a chance. Thank you. That's all there is on that, I'm afraid. That's all I got for you.
Do you realize that Hitler only had one ball? A lot of people aren't aware of that. Hitler only had one ball. Well, actually, it was an undescended testicle, but what you see is what you got. Hitler only had one ball. People didn't know it at the time. People kept saying things like, Jesus, that Hitler, he must have a lot of balls, you know? No, one. He started all that shit on one ball. The British Army knew about it. British Army had a song for him. Hitler has only got one ball. Goering has two, but they are small. Himmler has something similar, but poor old Goebbels has no balls at all. So, thank you. Well, so it's music you want. Well, by God, it's music you'll get then. I'm a musical fella, and I like my music, and I like historical things about music, like that little Hitler anecdote. Things that are from musical history. Do you realize that the Mexican hat dance was written by two people? Nobody knows that. Two guys wrote the Mexican hat dance. The first guy wrote ta-dan, 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 and the second guy wrote ta-dan, ta-dan. Think about it now. If it hadn't been for that second guy, the Mexican hat dance would have gone ta-dan, 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 ta-dan. I would have turned the fucking thing off after about 18 minutes, to tell you the truth. They were so happy with what they did, they went out to celebrate. And they met another guy, and he went... This is the kind of shit history is made of. Musical history. You know why I do these things? Because I'm a musical guy. Besides being a balloon fellow, I'm also a musical guy. I love music. I'm musical. See, I use that adjective for myself. I'm musical. I'm not musically talented. That's different. That's a distinction that's made. It's a distinction that's made usually by people who are musically talented. You've heard them. They'll say, is he talented? They'll say, oh, no. He's musical. That's me. I'm musical. It means if you hit me in the head with a pipe, I make a noise. And I'm like most people. I've written a few songs in my life. You know, I think a lot of people who are musical, you write a song, you might be lovesick or something, you write a little poem and you have a tune for it and you put it away and you don't show anybody. But I've written a few things. I wrote, if I give my heart to you, will you give me a receipt? I got you out of my heart, but I can't get you out of my apartment. Every time I sleep with you, I realize you're tall. What else? Well, I'll think of them, lots of them. I wrote one love song you might have heard of. Here's one you might have heard of even. Kiss Me, I'm Coming. Do you remember that? Kiss me, I'm coming. Ah! And it goes on like that for about 8 minutes, hopefully. Yeah. I wrote another one. I wrote, Nobody Knows How I Feel, so I keep it to myself. That's kind of nice, too. Also, I wrote a love song for fish. Can you imagine? I did. I wrote a love song for fish. Somebody had to. Mrs. Paul didn't give a shit. Swimming around nude in a tank full of fish sticks? I don't care for that lady. I wrote a nice love song for fish. It's called, Lay Some Eggs in the Sand and I'll Squirt Some Jelly-like Substance on Them. Well, I found fish are very direct in their communications. Also, they'll dance to just about anything. I wrote a country song. I heard your reaction to the country question earlier. I wrote a country song. It's called Drinking Beer, Taking a Shit, and Passing Out. Well, you gotta really be a country fan to like it. Also, you ain't been right to me, so I'm gonna womp the piss out of you, but for some reason they won't play it on the FM stations. Oh, I'll get to the words. I got a longer list than 7 by now, believe me. We'll get to that. That's at the end. Yeah. Something else, though, about some songs. This is my little musical break, and I kind of indulge myself, so you have to kind of go along with it. Instead of taking a real break and going out and lying down, I sort of just talk a little about music. I do folk music, too. I do folk songs. Not hardcore folk music, you know, but I do sort of a crossover folk, kind of a pop folk, sort of a country pop folk, reggae, classical folk. Classical music is what folk, sort of a boogie folk, you know what I mean? It's a nice kind of folk. I do one. Here's one that everybody loves. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady and I hit you with a hammer, would you think I was crazy? Broadway show, someone yelled, hey, George, how about a Broadway show tune? By God, I do them as well.
Broadway show. Here's one that everybody loves, especially you.
Away out here, we've got a name for rain and wind and fire. We call one rain, we call one wind, and we call the other fire.
Well, it seemed like the way to handle things, one name for each phenomenon. Sometimes I do this, but not tonight, I hope. Okay. Certainly. What else? Wait a minute, I got a couple more songs before I get this out of my system. You know what pisses me off in music? No one can tell me the rest of the words to Ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay. Doesn't this make you mad? Everyone knows the beginning of the goddamn song. Everybody. In fact, people get cocky about the beginning. They go ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay. Nobody knows the rest of it. One guy told me it's ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay. Did you get yours today? I got mine yesterday. That's why I walk this way. I don't think that's it. Another march they never taught me the ending to. Oh, the monkey wrapped his tail around the flagpole to see his asshole. Dun-da-da. And they leave you hanging there, you know, just like the goddamn monkey. Well, now that I got you in this martial mood, I always think of sports when I think about marches. I was in the band in high school, Cardinal Hayes Band. I love that shit. And I found out, yes, I played third trumpet. Third trumpet is the kind of thing where if you play it, you wouldn't recognize the goddamn song. I played third trumpet, and I found out very early in my high school marching band career that it is impossible to play the trumpet, read music, and march intelligently at the same time. So I said, fuck the first two, I'm going to march intelligently. Because people can see that from a distance. They can't tell if you're fucking up the music. They can by God see if you're going like this. So I marched like oh man, I marched good, but I wasn't playing shit, just going like that. That's the way you keep alive in the world. You have to make choices. If you're going to be lost, you better be found. Those things go together, lost and found, we know that. Nature insists on things in pairs, up, down, left, right, north, south, black, white, male, female, lost and found. You have to have lost and found, especially if you're going to open your own lost and found department. You have to have both kinds of items. You have to have some things that were lost and some things that were found, so that people will have a choice when they come up to the window. Don't you always think of lost and found as a real place, kind of a department, an honest-to-God place with its own employees and everything? I mean, it sounds that way on the phone. You call up, you say, pardon me, did anyone turn in a fife? They'll say to you, well, you'll have to check with the lost and found department. And immediately I picture a place with a window and a lady and a nameplate there, Olive Strong, waiting for people. Perhaps a sign above the window that says lost, an electric sign maybe, lost, found, lost and found, lost, found, lost and found, lost, found, lost and found, lost, found, with an electric arrow going and shiny bright showcases in the back with all the lost items displayed nicely for people to see. But it's never like that, is it? It's never like that. You go to the lost and found department, first of all, it's in some other goddamn place like sales or marketing or some shit. You go in, you say, lost and found? They say, yes, in the drawer here. That's all it ever is. It's one drawer in the lady's desk. The double drawer on the left, the file drawer. Here's a woman they don't even trust with files. She's got our stuff. I say, may I look in there? Well, that's the idea. Okay, thank you. Perhaps I'll find my item. Let me see. Oh, unusual things. There's a top hat with a big hole in it. And a half pair of earmuffs. 2 monocles welded together. There's a scarf with the map of Barbados on it. And an old skate key. That's all you have, eh? Yes. Oh. Well, none of it's mine. But could I have the scarf with the map of Barbados on it? I like that. You might as well get something for your trouble. Take something and make believe it's yours. You know what would be fun? Going to Los Angeles. Yeah, that's funny. I like that. Yes, that's mine. That key, all of these things are mine. Where did you find these things? I had every one of these with me yesterday. Well, I certainly want to thank you for helping me out. That would be a lot of fun. You know, it would be great if you were psychic. You could really clean up. If you could see things without seeing them, you could go to Lost and Found and just make a fortune.
describing all the unusual things. You say, pardon me, is this lost and found? Yes. Oh, excuse me. Do you have a pink plastic, a pink plastic Jean Autry wallet with a picture of a bear jacking off? Well, by God, he hit it right on the nose. That fucking Walter Cronkite, I'm glad he's leaving, because I don't believe that shit he does, man. Walter Cronkite. This is Walter Cronkite. That's the way it is. You ever hear the way he says the word oil? Oil, I think, has one syllable. It's sort of, but it's oil. He says oil. Listen for that. Not making fun of Walter. Yes, I am. Oil. Well, the oil fields today and the oil companies and the oil industry and the oil prices. That's the way it is. Walter Cronkite. Bullshit, Walter. That's not the way it is. The anti-nuclear thing, they call me up a lot, the Anti-Nuclear Alliance or whatever they're called, some different groups. You know, I'm sympathetic. They call, they say, we're against nuclear energy. I say, shit, got none at my house. We got rid of everything, you know. As soon as I heard it was dangerous, I said, honey, let's get rid of all this shit. Got rid of all that nuclear washing machine we had. Nuclear fan. All we got left, I think, is them nuclear Christmas tree lights. But God, the kids love them so much, you know. We'll probably hang on to them and take the risk.
So, you know, when you're watching the news at home, don't you hope when you watch the news that you'll be dead when all the really weird shit begins to happen on the planet? Yes, when the strange, you say, oh shit, I hope I'm not 70 and I can't run, you know? Because it's going to get weird, you know? In the post-atomic age, after the first accident that a terrorist has with this little device he thought he knew how to run, that London goes away, and then all the shit goes down, and it's no gas, no heat, no steam, and electricity's only 4 hours a day, and roving bands of maniacs. That's what I think about, man. You're going to be sitting at home. You know, think everything's cool. We still have a lot of spaghetti and stuff we buried, honey. We had the lead shield over the canned peas. We've still got water. The dog is dead. We can eat him and everything's going to be fine. When your mother's, you know, when she gets over that shit, we'll be okay. There's plenty of iodine, you know, and you're really trying to do, and comes a knock on the door, and it's a roving band of maniacs that have come to see if you have any stuff they might need. Oh my goodness, yes. All the different groups of maniacs, too. Different kinds of maniacs. First of all the prisons will empty. And we'll have the roving bands of prisoner maniacs with their own special brand of party. And there'll be the Hells Angels who haven't been in prison, but have been out practicing anyway. And then there'll be my group, the Scotch-Irish maniacs, who'll have found, they'll have found enough supply of spirits to get them across the continent several times without sleep. Yeah, and the Vikings will come around again. Should be strange. I don't really have anything to say about that, except about this country in general, that I do feel one thing I feel happy about this country. I'm proud of, and it makes me feel good. It's the thing I love the most about my country, and it's that no matter where you are in this country, any city at all, you can walk in someplace and buy a Mounds bar. I just like that. The country will really be in trouble when we have a president named Lucky. You imagine a guy named Lucky winning the presidency? Lucky Wismore. Holy shit, President Lucky. Well, we could have used a couple of lucky presidents, you know. Nixon seemed like a lot of people got mad because Nixon never admitted his guilt. That's all I wanted to mention. I think it would be nice if he would at least come out and admit that at least he was a real prick most of the time, you know. He wasn't guilty. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook, but I was a prick most of the time. I just like to hear that somehow, you know.
Speaking of naming things, am I the only person in this country who's laughing when these commercials come on television for Snapper lawnmowers?
Doesn't everybody in this country yet know what a snapper is? A snapper is a pussy. It's not as popular a usage as it once was, but snapper means pussy. Long time ago, originally, snapper just meant a certain kind of pussy. Meant a snapping pussy, which you must know about. You know, the kind got a little special extra muscular control and give you a nice grab there when you need one and give you a decent hump. Do you know what I'm talking about, okay? When you were growing up, when I was growing up as a kid, it was kind of a mythical thing almost. The big guys would tell you about snapping pussies, you know. It was like the clamp. That was another thing. She'll give you the clamp. Whoa. Remember that? Whoa, scary shit. But snapping pussies sound okay to me. So anyway, now, snapper means any kind of pussy now. It's a generic term. For instance, well, Joanne doesn't have much personality, but hey, she's got a top-flight snapper. Well, I always like to use a new word in a sentence for those who haven't heard it yet. So anyway, don't these people at the goddamn lawnmower place know all this? You know what I'm saying? I bet you the guys who are loading them on the trucks know. Yeah? People working on the assembly line, they're aware of it, but the dorks in the boardroom apparently never got the message. Didn't somebody at the advertising agency feel some little moral obligation to raise this issue at an early meeting? Dave, are you aware what a snapper is? Apparently this conversation never took place because they got a guy on TV comes into my home, sometimes on Sunday morning when we've just returned from Mass. And here's a guy telling me, says, got me a nice new snapper in the garage. Got a lifetime guarantee on it. Tells me to go see my snapper dealer. Well, isn't that a pimp? Hey, who's that guy over there with the big hat with the feather on it? Oh, that's my snapper dealer. Somehow, Pope Corky I doesn't command a lot of authority. Now, would somebody just put a dick in that guy's mouth, please? Because that's what he wants. He's a cocksucker in disguise. He's got his mouth open because he wants someone to come in it. Now, do you want to keep making noise, motherfucker, and we can find you that way? Or are you just a punk, coward, asshole, bullshit, loud motherfucker, and you're going to shut up now so we don't find out where the fuck you're sitting? Because if you keep it up, we'll grab your ass and throw you on the fucking street where you belong with your mother. And I'm fucking her in the asshole every night anyway. So fuck you and your sister and your wife. If you got a kid, I hope your fucking kid dies in a car fire. How do you like that, you stupid cocksucker? Shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here. You know, see, you gotta use psychology. You gotta be a bit of a psychologist up here and know how to appeal to a person.
It would be very hard for me to tell you how good you make me feel, so maybe that will tell you. I have an album that I hope you'll hear. I hope I'll come see you again. I'm sorry I had to miss some of the other activities and everything and be late and all that stuff, but I was really, fighting a lot of weird things. And tomorrow I guess I'm going to be around doing some stuff, and I'll see you then. And remember, it takes two fingers to make the peace sign, just like it takes two people to make love. When you go like this, you're jerking off. Good night. See you then.